Hello everyone, this is Kuroku Speaks coming at you with another review. It's been a long time. Oh man, gosh. Um, so today I will be reviewing an OC made by the deviant user Leaved, and I've heard a lot about Leaved. So I have to say I'm kind of excited to review this OC. I've been meaning to review her for a while. I've just honestly had no time, which sucked. But now I do. So I'm actually pretty excited. Today I'm reviewing a Five Nights at Freddy's OC known as Johnna Henrickson. So let's get into that. Now I want to say one thing to anyone who doesn't already know. When I review them, I literally have not read the bio. So I have no already opinion. When I read the bio, it's my first time of actually reading the bios, which is both fun and annoying. So yes, let us read this. La 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 la. Okay. So the name is Johnna Henrickson, and kudos to actually putting how to pronounce the name. Her age is, physically she's 6 years old, but technically she is 55 years old. Her eyes are bright blue, her hair is black, she's 4'4". Her height is, oh, here we go. Her weight is 60 pounds. Her nationality is British and Swedish. Her date of birth is May 5th, 1960. Her date of death is 1966. Dang, that would suck. Her sex is female. Her orientation is heterosexual. She's single, forever and ever single, because she's too young to date. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. Someone who does that. That's good. She's got a mother and a father, but no siblings, and she's a ghost. Her skin tone is fair-skinned. Her body type is ectomorph, tall and lanky. Her voice is loud and bubbly, pitched a tad higher as Balloon Boy's voice. Oh, okay. Style middle class, decent plaid or flannel dresses. Habits laughs constantly, smiles constantly, wrings hands and arms out in spurred moments. Oh, out of spurred moments. Tries speaking but can only do minimal speeches. Tries to play too much. Her arms will move arms spasmodically. Okay, I think you just meant her arms will move spasmodically. I think. Unless I'm reading, her arms will move arms. So I think it's just her arms will move spasmodically. Oh no, where did that? Okay, her personality. I keep wanting to say Johanna. Johnna Henrickson is a bubbly and cheerful 6-year-old girl that is lost within the purgatory of Freddy Fazbear's. When she was alive, she was always giggling and smiling, but sometimes paranoid whenever she would realize any adult would become annoyed with her constant laughing that she couldn't control due to her syndrome. Johnna would always have grabby hands as well, where she would like to grab at her hair and mess up her long locks and strands. She's not entirely bright, but she's not dumb enough to be fooled. She understands the dangers of strangers, which is always why she gets up to go find help. But since she is a ghost, she is not heard when she needs help, so she constantly wanders because of how scared she is to be alone. Oh, that's really sad. Her syndrome is a rare disorder called Angelman's disorder. Oh, I'm sorry, syndrome, aka happy puppet syndrome. Oh, I've heard about that. This syndrome prevents the patients from having strong functions in their limbs, rendering them weak. She is able to only walk when she's not challenged to climb stairs or run. Since she is very scared, she seeks help, which is where she goes to hunt for Mike, the security guy, seeing that he is an authoritative figure. But while she goes to seek him, she's being followed around by Aim, the helper, who is trying to get to Mike to prevent harm from children. The only thing is that it doesn't really sound like a personality, because it sounds more like a little bit of a miniature history story to her, because like, it's good, don't get me wrong, like, I really like this, it explains a lot, but it sounds like it's not exactly personality. Like, a personality would be more in the nature of, like, she's very timid, she's easily startled, she's just like a spooky, basically. Feral would be a good term for her, it almost sounds like. I'm not saying that, like, you can't keep, because, like, I like the fact that you explain why she's always wandering, like, that's a lot, and, like, that she's constantly afraid. That's really good. I like it. Just maybe put, like, her syndrome and stuff in a different area, because that doesn't sound like a personality, that just sounds like something else. Her quotes are hi, hello, help, 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 it's dark, dark, dark. That's sad. She likes stuffed animal toys, animals, sweets, mostly cakes, visiting the park, having company, bright colors, hiding underneath the party tables. She dislikes her father, being alone, sour candy, the dark, Freddy Fazbear, going to the doctor, taking medication that helps her sleep, and her epilepsy. Okay. She used to have Darkiplier as her helper. Dude! Or her defense. Dude, that's awesome. Darkiplier is amazing. I want to see more of him. Okay, notes of Johnna. Johnna suffers from happy puppet syndrome. She constantly laughs and smiles. Johnna's syndrome was hereditary from her mother's side of the family. She only attended special schools that could help with her disability, but unable to make friends. She is still scared of Freddy Fazbear, or Freddy the Bear, and tries to avoid him. She roams the pizzeria to find someone to help her be safe, which is usually an adult, targeting the security guy. She can also speak, she can only speak minimally, with just one-syllable words. Oh, that would suck. Her voice is a tad higher than Balloon Boy's. Johnna's grandmother eventually died of natural causes, it just says age, comma, in 2006. Oh, okay, I get it. All I saw was age, comma. I'm like, age what? Johnna's death was in 1966, but month is unknown. She is physically 6 years old, but her ghost age is 55 years old. Both her parents had gone through World War II, both trying to immigrate to America for a better life with their homelands. Okay. Johnna brought her grandmother with her to journey to America. Johnna was an only child. Johnna still suffers greatly from seizures. Her epilepsy activates when she hears the animatronic screeches. She also has small seizures, staring off into space and having a mini seizure at the moment. She likes being around Balloon Boy. The bright colors attract her, as well as being fooled to think that Balloon Boy is a human being. The only thing, hold on. I wanna make sure I know what I'm talking about before I go. Okay, the only thing with what you wrote is that, okay, she was in the Freddy Fazbear's diner, but is it like, okay, both of her parents had gone through World War II. Now, does this have to do with Johnna before she was born or after she was born? Because, well, obviously not before, but because World War II was in 1939. So if you're trying to say that they went through it recently, it would be kind of hard. And not to mention that her parents would be they'd be like, they're in their 30s by the time they had Johnna. Well, not necessarily. Anyway, I like this. Is her grandmother relevant? Is her grandmother relevant to this? Because says her grandmother in here, so I'm guessing that she's relevant. Defenses. When she grabs a person's head, she sends them into a seizure by frying their nerves. She can make her victims hallucinate. She likes to hide when she wants to surprise someone. Okay. And I'm sorry if I seem like I'm trying to just pointlessly point out things. It's a really good OC, so I'm trying really hard to try and give a good review. And I also haven't reviewed anything in a while, so my reviews are a little backed up right now. But I'm trying to do really well. Alright. So then I will read her shortened bio, and then I will go to Jonah's animatronic protector defense guy, I guess is what he is. Okay. Pew pew, shortened bio. Back in the 1960s, as World War II had finally ended... Oh, okay. There was a prosperity within America that the foreigners could finally contribute to. Both Robinski and Jenna, both married. Okay. You don't have to say both twice. Because you can be like, both Robinski and Jenna married and had lived within the suburbs. Or you can just say Robinski and Jenna both married in. So yeah. I don't think you actually need both at all. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back in the 1960s, as World War II had finally ended, there was a prosperity within America that the foreigners could finally contribute to. Both Robinski and Jenna married and had lived within the suburbs with a middle-class life. Everything was completely fine as they balanced home and work life together perfectly, until Jenna became pregnant with their first child. Well, that's positive. Their first child was born, a daughter that was 6 pounds in weight. They named her Johnna Henrickson. At first, the new life and the new addition to the family didn't seem so bad until Jenna realized that there was something off about their infant. Their baby was showing odd signs of minimal crying and constant moving of her arms. Her eyes began to develop differently, and they became crossed. Soon, both parents brought her to the doctor's office and realized that their firstborn was diagnosed with happy puppet syndrome. Jonah's condition was very severe from what their doctor could analyze, and asked both parents to give their daughter much more special attention. This caused a major shift within their normal life. The couple, who had worked far too long to have a perfect lifestyle, were now having to deal with another problem that could injure their prosperity. Oh, ow, that hits home. Jonah was growing and beginning to show signs of happy puppet child. And beginning to show signs of a happy puppet child. Constant laughing. I apologize. Constant laughter to anything, smiling all the time, inaudible babbling, and inability to become mobile. The syndrome affected her limbs greatly, to where she had no control to move. She could only flap her arms around, but couldn't control her movements. Many times through the day, Jenna would try and keep her away from the problem, but would eventually come back to their daughter to help train her limbs to become active. Robinski always helped try and make her walk by lifting her arms and picking her up from sitting to walk, controlling her walking style and movements, just like a puppeteer to a puppet. Jonah began to have major sleeping disturbances when she reached 5 years old, becoming more prone to weariness and hallucinations. She was also having episodes of seizures due to lack of sleep, but unable to remember any of it. Her health conditions began to take a peevish toll on the couple, unable to look at her as their precious child any longer. Now she is becoming the imperfect child of the suburbans. Robinski would express his frustration the most openly in front of Jonah as well, thinking she didn't understand him, but Jonah understood every word, and every vague insult left another pang of guilt and fear. The only person who really loved Jonah was Jenna's mother, or Jonah's grandmother. She doted Jonah just as some grandmothers would. She would try and encourage Johnna to try her best with Johnna and have patience. Oh, she would encourage Jenna to try and... I'm so sorry, names are like confusing me. They're all a bunch of J's. I'm like, oh god. Encourage Jenna to try her best with Johnna and have patience. All the while, grandmother would give gifts to Johnna, such as the patterned dress and coat with black shoes. Jenna didn't appreciate this silently. One day, while Jenna was at work, Rubinsky was on his day off and was asked by grandmother to take Johnna out to a children's pizzeria for fun and meet new children. He was reluctant at first, not wanting to go out, but eventually did when Johnna kept asking. The two visited the popular Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria that was having a reopening. Johnna was able to walk on her own, but only restricted to the first floor to not strain her legs from moving. While Rubinsky was at a table reading a provided newspaper, Johnna had gone to play, still very meek when meeting new people. Everything went downhill when the animatronics came out, moving on their own on the party floor. Freddy the Bear was the first to meet Johnna, but his towering stature and appearance frightened Johnna badly, to where she was wailing and babbling to call for her father. Rubinsky found her eventually and had to take her out of the pizzeria. Johnna continued to cry, becoming overly stressed with her fright. Her wailing led to the family car, where Rubinsky was shouting to Johnna to shut up, but she couldn't. Finally, at the end of his fuse, Rubinsky beat his daughter in the face to make her stop, bashing his fist into her face and eye repeatedly and strangling her to death when she tried to scream for help. Johnna eventually died in the family car, where Rubinsky wasn't able to get away with it when an employee saw the scene midway and called for help. Rubinsky was taken in by police, but Johnna was unable to be saved. Her spirit was left within the parking lot. Within the state she was killed in, she was scared, and went into the pizzeria to find shelter from the outside. Indoors, Johnna's feeling of pain ceased, but her memory and syndrome still exist. She continued to live within the pizzeria, and when she continued to laugh and smile without being in fear of her father, her laughter echoes in the halls, and her appearance was able to be visible within the night. Oh, man, that sucks, because, like, the thing is, okay, and I think I've mentioned this before, my little brother has Asperger's syndrome, okay? And I mean, it's a real trial at times, and I know people have like worse syndromes, kind of like this happy puppet syndrome, and I mean that's got to be hard, but I mean, like, our family, we've never had any of these things, so my little brother comes along and he's really hard to associate with. He's very he only likes one thing and he becomes obsessive. He's mildly aggressive. He's not very good with being told no or not getting his way. But I mean, you know, when you hear it and they have a problem and it's just another problem, and you read that and it's like, I just imagine, what if my parents had ever thought of my little brother that way, as just another problem, and it just breaks my heart as much as he annoys me, just to think of my parents like, oh, he's just another problem. Like, just to imagine being that kid, being that child that the parents don't actually love, you know? Like, ugh. I wanted to say, however, I feel like, okay, Notes of Johnna needs to go after her bio. Because when you read the notes for Johnna and then you read the bio, it's very confusing, because I read the notes and it completely threw me off, because I'm like, well, what is, you know, why is her grandmother important? What did World War II have to do with any of this? Things like that. So if you put that after the shortened bio, I think that would be a lot easier for you readers to understand. I really do like her bio. I don't personally find it very Five Nights at Freddy's-ish. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not saying like, oh, it's the worst. It's a very unique OC. I really like it because she's not like some kawaii hedgehog murder master 555, you know, like, she's actually a unique OC who has an interesting backstory and is a spirit who wanders through the pizzeria. But I don't know, I just personally don't see her as Five Nights at Freddy's. But I like her. I like her design. I like that a lot. I feel bad for her. She's such a cutie pie. And that illness would be so horrible. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Aim the Helper. Okay, age unknown, height 6'3", weight 2 tons, 4,000 pounds. Other nicknames: Amy the Helper, Help Green Bean, because it's fur color. Eyes are bright blue. Year of creation unknown, but in the midst of the 50s. Oh, hey! He and Jonah share the missing eye. Oh, hello. Okay, allies: Johnna Henrickson and the Fazbear Pizzeria cast. Enemies: humans, especially adults. Shortened bio: Aim the Helper is a special animatronic that is specifically created for children with disabilities that visit the pizzeria. From his appearance, Aim has some missing parts: his eyeball and his lower jaw. This is due to some belligerent children that had jumped and tried to climb onto him since Aim is tall enough to be 6'3", above the average male's height, which is 5'11". Oh my god, all males past that anymore. You should see the guys in my state. They're all like, and it's like, oh god, they're coming. The Titans, they're real. Aim has speakers installed at the sides of his head as both ways to play music as he walks around the pizzeria and monitors the special children, as well as the normal children. The speakers are also used to sound alert to employees if a problem issues, such as a hurt child or an unrecognizable customer that is in their perimeter. Just like Foxy, Aim is built to also run in case he spots intruders or uninvited customers that sneak into the back of the pizzeria. Now, as an abandoned creation in with Fazbear's Pizzeria's fourth installment, originally Fazbear Diner, he is still in need to protect children that cannot defend themselves. That is where he meets Jonah, who was having a problem trying to open the door to the party room. Since then, he has been her helper. His purpose is to go after the security guy. His purpose to go after the security guy is because Jonah constantly tries to get to him, therefore giving Aim the idea that the security guy is a predator, luring Jonah into kidnap. Aim dresses like a helper. Bright blue suspenders, rolled up brown pants, and a big white dress shirt, purple shoes, and a large red tie. His appearance is colorful, and his fur is the color of lime green. I am really messing this up tonight. I apologize. His method of killing is different. Just like Foxy, Aim also runs very fast and uses his hands to cause harm. However, since his lower jaw is missing, he is unable to bite like the other animatronics can. He, instead, uses his hands to strangle or grab any intruder to drag them away to the back room to let the animatronics put him in a suit. Aim is not possessed by a child, but working under his own malfunction. He was programmed to protect children, but now since the age of his body has been beaten down on him, followed by the constant abuse of children, Aim's hardware had malfunctioned to become 10 times more protective, to where he wants to attack any human that goes near Jonah. I like his bio. I like his purpose. That's actually a really smart idea. However, I feel like the time that he is created around is a bit unrealistic. The only reason why I say that is because I feel like while that is a really cool idea for a creation, I feel like he probably would have been created more early, later on in time, because I could be wrong. You probably looked into this. I don't know, but I just feel like it's kind of unrealistic to have animatronic made for helping special kids, considering we still don't have that kind of stuff today, where we don't have animatronics that help them. I wish we did. That would be amazing. But my point is that maybe it's just a little unrealistic as to when he was created. So maybe, like, if you had to change it, say, like, he was made after Jonah's death, and then he met Johnna one day as she's a spirit, and then he grew close to her spirit. Or, you know, like, they say, like, how the kids possess the animatronics, maybe she does something like that, like, she kind of makes him attached to her so that she has someone with her all the time. She's a cutie patootie, and he's really cool looking. I like him. He's creepy as heck, though. That's really cool. I like that about it. It's actually creepy. He's not just some, like, cutie. Okay, I can't say that because, like, I have animatronics that are cute. No, I like this. And I like his purpose. He was supposed to help, you know, special needs kids. It's very unique. I don't have a lot to like, have you look into. I'm so used to people having stuff that I can be like, well, look at this, and now I'm like, gosh darn it. I kind of think it's kind of cute that they're both missing the same eye. I could see that being something Johnna points out, like, okay, oh hey, guess what? We're both missing this eye. Look, me too. She's like, oh my god, yeah. Again, just work on her personality a bit. Her personality isn't really much of a personality. It's more of just explaining her syndrome. Like, if you need to, put down, like, illnesses, disabilities, etc. And then you can put, like, her syndrome and the fact she has seizures and stuff in there, like epilepsy and stuff. Another thing is to make sure, like, maybe put your notes of Johnna after the bio so that people understand better what's going on, because I was honestly really confused, and I tend to do that anyway, but I think that, like, notes should go after all that stuff, personally. I mean, people probably disagree with me, but I really do think that's how it should go. I really like Amy. Is Aim a female or a male animatronic? Because, like, it looks like a male, personally, in my opinion. This isn't, like, one of those, like, I'm not trying to sound like, oh, well, it looks like a guy, so it's obviously a guy. But I know that animatronics usually are appointed some sort of gender, and in my opinion, it's just, it looks like a dude, but I don't know, like, it might just be the positioning of Aim, so. Yeah, I think that's all I can say. I really like the put together of this OC, of these OCs. They're both really unique. Yeah. You did a really good job. This is really good. I like it. So, I guess that'll be all for this review. Be sure to check out Leave. Her art is just amazing. It really is. It's amazing. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you all have a great day, night, afternoon, or whatever you have. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Kroku out.